This is Fuad Abasov, a broker with Right at Home Realty, and this is your monthly real estate statistics. In October, market continued to adjust to a higher borrowing cost environment, while new listings were also down year over year and months over months. The persistent lack of inventory helps explain why the downward trend in home prices experienced in the spring has flattened over the past 3 months. The Bank of Canada interest rate hikes managed to cool the housing market a few degrees, but they also strapped mortgage rates to a rocket. The average home price in Canada dropped 3.9% in the past year. Meanwhile, the average 5-year fixed mortgage rate jumped from 3.2% to 5.58%. If you put 20% down, that means that $2,500 a month's mortgage payment that got you $650,000 condo unit last year is only good for a $500,000 condo unit today, $150,000 difference. With more raising rates, till inflation gives in, there's more pain ahead for homebuyers. $1 million question today is where the market is at. What do we do? It depends if you look at the glass half full or half empty. The choice is yours. You either focus on headlines or see opportunity. Yes, the market is shifting. The usual summer slowdown combined with continued inflationary and housing market anxiety has realigned real estate markets across the country, and in fact across the continent. That has created a deluge of negative media headlines. Need I say more? At the start of the year, accelerated economic activity and frenzied real estate sales, with advice being act right now, was the norm. That's changed. Today, with the Bank of Canada key rate continuing to push higher, home buying and selling has become more tactical. While I'm not going to deliver the expected line of best time to buy, there are certainly opportunities in today's market. In many areas, the number of listings has increased and the number of sales has slowed. That means less frenzy and more choice. Time to reflect, then act. And when buying a home, that's a good thing. Some negotiations aren't succeeding as sellers and buyers get used to new levels. But fact is, the art of the deal, negotiation, is back. As ironic as it sounds, most buyers acting today like it is year 2008, while a majority of sellers acting like it is 2021. I would suggest following sensible guidelines for taking advantage of today's market, which include buying and selling in the same market, safe and smart. First, we sell, then we buy. Reviewing financing options and structure, including credit. Let's cover this early before going on a house hunt. Identifying actual price and activity trends and not just media headlines. I deliver solid knowledge. Being prepared means being in a position to take advantage of current trends, because despite what you hear, there are opportunities, especially today. Although prices have decreased year over year, in most areas of GTA, they're either slightly higher or very similar to those of September. Now, let's take a closer look at detached home sales in Toronto and surrounding areas. In Toronto, an average selling price of detached home in October was $1.62 million, very similar to the one in September. The amount of sold properties year over year is down by 45%. The amount of new listings was down by 11%, and average selling price was actually down by 10.6% compared to last October. In Vaughan, an average selling price in October was $1.7 million, an increase compared to September when the average selling price was $1.53 million. Amount of sold properties year over year is down by 60%. The amount of new listings is down by 10%, and average selling price compared to last October is down by 8%. It took 22 days on the market for homes to be sold. Richmond Hill, average selling price of detached home in October was $1.91 million, a slight increase from September. An amount of sold properties compared to last year was down by 72%. The amount of new listings was also down by 46%. Average selling price was down by 6% compared to October of last year, and it took 22 days for homes to be sold. In Mississauga, the average selling price slightly decreased from September. Year over year, we have 51% down in sold properties. amount of new listings is actually have not changed, and average selling price is down by almost 14%. It takes 21 days for detached homes to be sold on the market today in Mississauga. In Markham, an average selling price has increased compared to September to $1.75 million. The amount of sold properties was down by 58% compared to last year. The amount of new listings was also down by 34%. The average selling price was down by 9% compared to last October. It takes 15 days for homes to be sold in Markham today. Newmarket, average selling price is $1.24 million. The amount of sold properties was down by $37 year over year. The amount of new listings was down by 5.6% compared to last October, and average selling price compared to last year is down by 7.3%. It takes 20 days for detached homes to be sold on the market today. Aurora, an average selling price of detached home has increased in October compared to $1.52 million in September, and today it's $1.6 million. 7.4% decrease from October of last year. The amount of sold properties was down by 56% year over year. The amount of new listings was down by 32%. It takes 23 days for detached homes to be sold in Aurora today. Innisfil, an average selling price of detached home has decreased compared to September, and now it's sitting at $878,000. Sold properties was down by 54% year over year. The amount of new listings was actually up by 12%, and average selling price is down by almost 9% compared to last October. It takes 33 days for detached homes to be sold in Innisfil today. King City, average selling price of detached home in October was $2.66 million. The amount of sold properties year over year was down by 64%. The amount of new listings was also down by 8%. Average selling price compared to last year is actually up by 1%. It takes 34 days for detached homes to be sold in King City today. In Bradford, an average selling price is almost similar to what it was in September and is sitting today at $1.11 million. The amount of sold properties year over year is down by 49%. The amount of new listings has increased by 10% compared to last year. The average selling price is lower than it was last year by 6%. It takes 27 days for detached homes to be sold in Bradford today. In Milton, an average selling price of a detached home is down from September and is sitting at $1.25 million today. The amount of sold properties year over year is down by 57%. The amount of new listings is down by almost 3%, and average selling price compared to last year is down by almost 14%. It takes 24 days for detached homes to be sold in Milton today. In Stoufville, an average selling price compared to September went up to $1.32 million. The amount of sold properties was down compared to last year by 49%. The amount of new listings has increased by almost 15%. The average selling price is down by 18% compared to last year. It takes 18 days for homes to be sold in Stoufville today. Average selling price in Barrie has not changed since September, but is down compared to last year by 6% and is sitting at $819,000 today. The amount of sold properties year over year is down by 32%. The amount of new listings has increased by 10%. It takes 21 days for detached homes to be sold in Barrie today. I am committed to helping my clients understand their real estate options, whether they sell or buy, and choose the path that's best for them. The market can be confusing, but you don't have to navigate it alone. I'm just a phone call or email away. If you'd like to receive your own personalized sales report about home sales on your street or in the neighborhood, please call me at 647-801-3401 or email me at sold@fuadhomes.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.